What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Hey, everybody. One Piece 1097. Wow. We had been talking about 1097 for a while. I think we're going to be wrong for at least, the main reason. One of my big things about 1097 was that I really wanted it to be Smoker's big return, because he was introduced in chapter 97, so this would be 1,000 chapters from that. But we are in the middle of the Kuma flashback, so that's not going to happen. But we did offer one alternative for 1097, because there were a lot of things relevant issue number-wise when we were getting into math piece stuff that had to do with Luffy's family. And it's about time, now that we've left God Valley, that we need to see some dragon. And I didn't go back to math piece to try and see things out. I can't remember the exact reasoning behind why I expected dragon in 1097 so many months ago, but I think it had to do, I might be wrong here, but I think it's because it's the issue anniversary of when Garp was like laying down everything in Post Denny's lobby. Like the introduction of the fact that Dragon is Luffy's father in the first place. So let's see if we get into some stuff like that. I did say this chapter theoretically should be Kuma, and the citizens of Sorbet kind of getting everything together, expanding upon the relationship between him and Ginny, maybe some more clues into who Ginny is. But if we get into the stuff about the birth of the freedom fighters, the birth of the Revolutionary Army, I feel like that's the natural progression of the story. And given that we got so much about Ginny being a communications expert in 1096, that has to tie in eventually to the Revolutionary Army and the freedom fighters, as far as she needs to be the reason why they're so good with communications. That's the fun. That's something really fun that I hope we explore here. So, needless to say, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in. And we'll see how on the mark or off the mark we are. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. Get these likes up, people. I hope that daylight savings in the United States didn't mess up some of our international people in the audience here. We did have daylight savings yesterday. It's night. Getting the OST in my ear. Well, this is interesting. The reader request ties into the cover story? Ties into the flashback? We've got young Kuma here, and what looks to be an older Ginny. That's wild. Oda's never done that. He's never done that. That feels right for the ages of what the characters should be when we get into this. Oh man. Oh, we're in. We're in. He's really bad at catching fish. He sent them somewhere across the world there. Okay. Hey. All right, we got either teenager or 20s Kuma here. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. We're getting right into it. All right, 8 years after God Valley incident, 30 years ago. Okay. Okay. Okay, so he was 9. So... This is, what, 17-year-old Kuma? So this is like Luffy at the start of the series Kuma. Kamachi, I need your help. I've been coming here since your father's generation. Such a shock when he up and vanished, but I'm glad to see his son growing into such a great pastor. Pastor Kuma. All right. Showing why this man's carrying the Bible around. Oh, it literally says Pastor Kuma, age 17. I didn't even have to try and count it. Oda put the math there. All right. It's nothing but old folks in this poor kingdom. That's so much better now. Thanks, my boy. I'm next. My back is killing me. Yeah. That's nice. Good. Not only is he a pastor, he's the greatest doctor in the world. Chopper, take notes. Oh, what a blessing it is. The miracle hands. But couldn't you extend hours to the weekdays, too? Oh, my man only works on Sunday. Oh, man. I guess so do I. All right. Pastor Randy. Church is in session. Absolutely not. Only on Sunday. That's Shueisha. That's Shueisha yelling at all of the individuals that still do scans and read scans. Only on Sundays! Only on Sundays! Oh, man. Okay, so we got older Ginny here. Really looking like Bonnie. Really looking like Bonnie here with the freckles. I could still see the arguments for is it Luffy's mom, but sister is on her shirt. I wonder if that's there for a reason. Like, is that if that's going to be important? Whose sister are you? Yeah. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay. All right. I had an idea about all of this, but I'm hoping it comes back to me. Let's see. You're asking a lot for people who aren't paying us any money. Behave, you greedy old beggars. Oh no, it's Ginny the cheapskate. Shut up, this isn't a campground or a hospital. So pretty, but so foul-mouthed. From what I hear, the men in town can't stop vying for her affection. Even the posture screams Bonnie. Oh, so okay, so that's what Oda's going for. It's more, you know, AJ, my guy AJ in the chat. He's talking about how sister's another term for nun. Yeah, she runs the church, so she's the nun. A little skimpy for a nun here. But yeah, if this is Bonnie's mom, then Kuma's he's a different kind of priest. All right. Then again, she's got Kumachi. The sight of Kumachi's face makes me feel at ease. That's so sweet of you. They act this way because you spoil them, Kumachi. Ginny, 21. Alright. I'd give you as much money as I could, Kumachi, but it was hard enough just to get by while paying the heavenly tribute. Okay, so Sorbet pays heavenly tribute. Alright. And now we've got this new king, don't we? Yeah. Will we know who the king is? Alright, it's just some rando. They say that King Bakori is a cruel man with a heart of stone. We get sick, we can't pay our share of the heavenly tribute. And then he'll throw us in jail. It's a travesty, I tell you. The last geezer they tossed in a cell starved to death, I hear. Starved! He won't even pay to feed the prisoners. Stupid skin-flint king. Wow. Throwing heavy insults. I always knew he was bad, the way he bows and scrapes to the celestial dragons. We have to be healthy or it's a death sentence. Well, I can help by removing any light illness or pain you're feeling. Come every Sunday. He's so pure. He's so pure. Don't take that pureness away. Don't take that purity away. That's what this flashback's about. We're gonna lose that purity. Alright. Thank you, Kumachi. Oh, what's Big Boy doing with the big paw? Oh, he takes the pain from them and then it has to go somewhere. Equivalent exchange. This man is eating their pain. Ah. That's why Ginny's mad, because she knows the truth. Whew. Nothing happened for Kuma. Every Sunday. He can't do this every day. He can't do it every day. He needs a week to recover. Yeah, there's Ginny crying because she knows. She knows. That's why she's so mad at me. Oda, you dog. The setup and the payoff. One page after another. It's what you love to see it. Alright, every week you do this, and they have no idea how much you suffer for them. Oda's really pulling at the Catholicism and Christianity of it all. There's no other choice. That mass of pain and suffering won't disappear until someone accepts it. That's crazy. If left untouched, it makes its way back to the original person. But more than the pain, I feel delighted to see their happiness. I love how... What was it? 2008 was Thriller Bark? 2009, maybe? Sitting there, trying to figure out this man's powers, hoping for an explanation. Go back in time, talk to little teenage Randy. Teenage entering his 20s, Randy. Just be like, hey, look, don't stress too much. In 2023, you'll get the answers. I'd probably be like, wow, I get One Piece until at least 2023. Let's go. That would have been my response. All right. Shout out to Great Peace. Appreciate you. That's not the issue. They gave us some food, didn't they? Let's eat. Yeah, food. Just chowing down. Okay. 25 years ago, Kuma 22. Ginny would be 25. Let's get married, Kumachi. What? No, why not? Marry me, damn it. You know you love me. It's like Arrested Development. Marry me. I'll make you happy. I'm sure you would, but it's me. I'm the one who has the Buccaneer blood. Oh, man. Kuma! My wife does not. Let her and my son go free. I don't want to bring you misery. Look, another article about the freedom fighters. They've caused protests in several countries, and now they're wanted by the authorities. Dragon! Hey.
Another one, and another one.
He's so cool. He must be someone's hero, I bet. One day I want to go out to sea and use my life to help others too. Are you there? It's the lovely Ginny. We caught a huge haul today. It's the fish. So I think we're in the era of the cover page. Oh, thank you, Gil. This man's holding fish, and his name is Fish. His name is Gil. Gil is fish. Dummy. All right. 22 years ago, disaster struck. Hold on. 25 years ago. Okay, so this is 25-year-old Kuma. 28-year-old Ginny. Bonnie is canonically 22. So, we getting into it? Because if we don't see Bonnie as like a baby or Ginny as, pregnant here or something like that, then the age is a lie. But I don't want it to be a lie. Alright, give your prisoners back. Help us, Kamachi. You dare defy the royal army? Who is this monstrous lug? Royal City, Sorbet Kingdom, Kuma at 25. I'm a pastor from a church in the south. Well, father, I'm sure you heard that the laws have changed. Now we're free to do what we want from people from the south. Turning them into slaves. It's an unforgivable sin. This is rebellion. This is how he becomes a tyrant. Shout out to Barry who said, same though. Low Barry wondering what this man's deal is in 2008. Only for him to be one of the best written characters in the series. How far we've come. Facts. Preach. It's, church is in session. Keep preaching. Eric Veltri, member for 15 months. Say, hi, Captain. Sorry I'm a little late. Hope you're enjoying all the W's with Dragon's appearance. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see how far the appearances go. I'd like more. All right. Yeah, this king looks like he goes to a reverie. Let's see. Majesty, I must admit that this policy is going over poorly with the people of the realm. Don't worry, they will soon be led astray by labels and look down their noses at the south. Alright, map. We got an equator here. Okay. Castle in the Royal City in the north. You got Kuma's Church and Elderly Village down in the lawless area of the south. Starting today, only the north part of the island is the actual Sorbet Kingdom. World government determines the amount of heavenly tribute owed by the number of citizens. In other words, the South, with all of its old people who cannot pay their tribute, should be cut loose. In doing so, the country will be prosperous and balanced. That's crazy. This man's like, I have to pay per citizen. So I'm going to draw a line. This way I get to keep some of my money. You guys have to figure it out over there. So is this why he's king of Sorbet Kingdom? Because he's king of the South Sorbet? And then they have the North and it's different? This is the king of the North. King of the South. All right. Kuma's in prison. He's starting to look like the Kuma we know and love. There's Ginny. Why are you in here too? We were clamoring for them to let you go. And then they beat us to a pulp. Heh, heh, heh. Ginny, I'm afraid our land is turning into a place of the haves and have-nots. King Bakuri is just a tool of the Celestial Dragons. This whole plan came down from someone above him. This goes all the way to the top! Shout out to Great Peace again, appreciate you. If we want to fight back, we have to take on the whole world government. Ah, who are you people? Run, your majesty. Hey. You won't escape, you sad imitation of a celestial dragon. Makes me boil with anger. The king's given in. The enslavement policy is no more. I'm glad. I didn't want to live like that. Through someone's interference, the Sorbet Kingdom avoided disaster. God, I wonder who those silhouettes are. This man you're infatuated with is certainly a wild one. You'll be so impressed with him, dragon. Hee-haw! Kuma, Ginny. So you've been imprisoned, huh? I'm here to get you out. Is that you, bro? Eva? And is that? Listen up, Kuma. You're still the same man as that boy back then. Come with us and change the world. Hey, look at this spread. Look at it. Look at this Che Guevara looking dude. Look at him. The freedom fighters led protests in countries around the world after the arrival of the great era of piracy. The tragic fall of O'Hara. The group took arms, and with the addition of Kuma to the twin pillars of Dragon and Ivankov, they underwent transformation and became the Revolutionary Army the world would later know and fear. Is this supposed to be Bello Betty and like a young Karasu with the mask on here? I'm gonna assume the guy with the mask is Karasu. That, like, at some point, you know, 22 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, he had hair. And then, how many people are saying this one girl here isn't Bello Betty, but is actually Luffy's mom? Or people like, oh, it's Porcus D. Rouge. I mean, she kind of looks like Rouge a little bit. If I had a choice, ask Great Peace, God Valley movie or flashback? Flashback. I want it from Oda. If it's a movie, it's not really from Oda. They really pulled up with him with they really pulled up to Kuma.
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live. Let's get these likes up, guys. I'm just embracing this spread here. I'm embracing it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, Ginny's even got the Bonnie, like, socks, though. Oda's really, he's clamoring for this, you know, this Bonnie business. But Bonnie should be born now, so I'm starting to sweat. Starting to get confused here. Starting to get a little worried. Oh, we're gonna see Dragon in action? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know, I don't want it to be the case. It would be crazy if it was just like, well, Kuma didn't want to marry me, so I found Dragon. Alright, anyway. We still lack a solid source of funds. Shout out to Red Hood 52. Member for 9 months said, dripped out Ginny. Oh yeah. The plan is to act like mercenaries and lend our strength to rebellious elements seeking to overthrow their kings. Those who wish to join will be taught how to use weapons, fight with them. One day I want to raise this into a massive armed force scattered across the globe. How did you learn to use weapons, Dragon? Look at that. Look at that flag. That X goes hard. That X goes hard. I like that. I like that. It's simple. I like that. Shout out to Great Peace again. Thank you. 3-day trip. Appreciate you. Said, maybe Kuma became a cyborg because of all the pain he took on that he couldn't heal from, replacing one part at a time. At least part of the reason. That's interesting. That's interesting. Something to definitely expand upon later. It's strange to be at odds when both the Navy and the revolutionaries just want to help people. Oh, wait. How did you learn to use weapons? I spent some time in the Navy. Our boy was a Marine. Confirmed. Woo! Oh, I forgot to do... I added this today, and I got so caught up in the chapter that I meant to do this, you know, like, if we saw, like, somebody crazy, I would have hit this button when Ivankov and Dragon pulled up. Let's see, where is it? That's the new button. It's gonna get abused. Sadly, I couldn't find any of the justice they wear on their backs. That's a great line. That's a great line. Strange to be at odds when both the Navy and revolutionaries just want to help people. Well, I'm with you all the way, Dragon. You won't regret it. Oh, is Komachi back? I'll return now and then. I want to make sure you're all right. It's so sweet. 8 more years passed. 14 years ago, in a certain country. You look happy, Ginny. Oh, is it showing? Tomorrow's the big day. We're gonna meet up with Kumachi's group, remember? I can't wait. Oh yeah, Ginny is dripped out. Revolutionary Army Captain Eastern Forces, Ginny? Oh, Oda is really trying to play the mom, the Luffy mom stuff. Oh, wow. Was the sister on the shirt? I knew there had to be a double play. Is the sister because Bonnie is technically Luffy's sister in some way? Or something. Oh my god. My head is going to explode. Wish I were Captain Kuma. He gets the affection of everyone's crush. What? Don't crush on me, creeps. Grow up. What a mouth. Revolutionary Army Headquarters, Baltico. Dragon, come in. Ginny's been captured? Sorry, the enemy caught us unaware. That's the end of the chapter. Ugh. Oda, you dog? What are you doing? He knows exactly what he's doing. Yo, this man is really trying to play the whose mom is this? Ah. He knows we're gonna drink the Kool-Aid. He knows. He knows we're gonna buy into this. He knows what he's doing when he's writing Eastern Forces. He knew we were already talking about this when he introduced this character with a hunk of meat in her mouth. Pause. This is... And then, like, the continuing the meat. But then Bonnie is the glutton, right? Always eating. It's like every theory everybody's had in one. They're gonna clone Ginny. And Bonnie is Ginny's clone. Ugh. And then Kuma raises her in secret. Oh my god. But she's also Luffy's mom? Because Kuma... Either way, Bonnie is not Kuma's actual daughter. It's One Piece logic. It's... It's the One Piece parent thing all over again.
Savage.
The fake out parents, like the person that is your dad or your mom, the one that you actually call that isn't actually related to you at all. All right. Oh man. Oh man. All right. So Ginny wanted Kuma, but Kuma's a good priest. He's a good Christian. He's a good Catholic. You know, there's no sex before marriage, and at the same time, man's a priest, so there's just nothing at all. Celibacy. He bought into the celibacy. Okay. I feel bad. I feel even worse for Kuma now. Kuma is celibate. I feel like that was confirmed this chapter. I feel like that's one of the big confirmations. So I think Ginny dies. Well, I said Ginny died the second I saw her on screen. But I think she dies in the next chapter. Next chapter is going to be where Kuma gets... Like, we're going to understand why he's considered a tyrant. But I think he's going to bring Ginny's body to Vegapunk. He's going to clone her like he did with Stussy. Kuma's going to extract her memories. And he's going to raise the clone as Bonnie and not really tell her about Ginny. But off screen, somewhere here, her and Dragon got it on and had Luffy. And because she's so involved in the being a captain of the Revolutionary Army, she just left Luffy somewhere. It's like, hey, I can't take care of this kid. And then Luffy joins the squad of dead mothers, along with Sanji, Usopp, Zoro. Technically Nami, but we don't know the biological mother. Robin. Brooke, just given age. There's no way she's still around. And we have no context for Frankie, Jinbei, or Chopper. There might be some female reindeer walking around still. But this is so crazy. This is so crazy. All right, let's get to the chat. I've vamped enough. Ace2532 said, "Sorry I'm late, Captain. You're on time." Everybody's quoting Ty. I love that. Needs to be on a t-shirt. Only two thoughts after this chapter. First is where Bonnie fits in. She would have fit in somewhere in the 22 years ago section, but she's not there. So, the second is who captured Ginny. I would love it to be Smoker, as he would be 21 to 22 at the time and operating out of the East Blue.
Savage. Savage.
It's about to get spicy. You know what's wild? Is if I remember correctly, we actually didn't. I mean, you're feeding my agendas and you're getting me excited, but the Smoker Oda box was in chapter 98. He was introduced in 97, but he got his Oda box in 98. So if we see young Smoker, that's spicy. But I wonder if it's something else. I wonder if it's something else. I feel like it's got to be bigger. I don't know if it's the Marines. Could it just be the Marines? What if Garp gets involved? Then we really get this like mom lore. This is so crazy. Oh man, yeah. I didn't even stop to think about the math of 14 years ago, but it's crazy. In a certain country, I wonder what country this even is, because it's obviously it's in the East Blue, but 14 years ago, what does that make Luffy? 5? Luffy would be 5 here? Lucille Vlad Ivanovici said, puts on tinfoil hat. What if Ginny is Bonnie? I mean, if they're clones, then technically they are. But I don't think it's like literally Bonnie. Like, I don't think Ginny eats Bonnie's fruit and then becomes that, unless Kuma took her memories away, and then it's like, oh wait, actually I'm really, you know, 40 or 50 years old? Brandon King said, apparently Oda likes Harry Potter, and his favorite character, Ginny, is played by Bonnie Wright. Also, notice the 02 on Ginny's crate, just like Lilith. Interesting, interesting. Yes, Oda does like Harry Potter. So that's what he's referring to. Is Chrissy in the chat? Because she would love that. Barry said, he may have been your father. He wasn't your daddy. Oda, probably. Oda, always. Alejandro Salas said, so how you feel that Atlas and Ginny have the same hairstyle? Also, W for Kuma being so strong, doing everything he does and doesn't. Yeah, Kuma's that guy. Shout out to the boy right there. Ginny's a great character. Oda knows how to write these flashback characters, though. But is it Monkey D. Ginny? Jewelry Ginny? Bartholomew Ginny? What is it? What is going on? You know that smile where she says, I can't wait, looks really Luffy, though. Tell me that doesn't look like some Luffy smile. Like, I feel like we even saw that pretty recently, too. Oh, man. Oh, you dog. Dog. I kind of feel like Atlas's hairstyle is a little bit different, though. It may be inspired, but there are differences. There are differences. Atlas, I think, had like curl, like circles, and like these are more diamondy. Give me a second here. Wow.
You loyal.
Shout out to DK Dawn Knight 1993, member for 10 months, said, I think we gotta apply Occam's razor. Bonnie is Ginny clone and not related to Luffy, to me at least. Still heartbreaking Kuma doesn't want kids yet. That was a crazy thing. It was a crazy thing. He leads a life of celibacy on several accounts. EJ1218 said, Springer or Mori, you are not the father. Crowd goes wild. Crocodile throws a chair. Kuma decides to become a cyborg because he is so hurt. Dragon doesn't pay child support, leaving Garp to raise a bastard. I mean, it never was Crocodile. Never was. I'm sorry. Shout out to Chin. Remember 27 months said Ginny died childbirth Bonnie by celestial dragon. Bonnie.
You loyal.
Ginny had a baby with a celestial dragon, you're saying? And then she died in childbirth? I don't know if the math lines up. I mean, with Bonnie's fruit, she could be whatever age, but... I don't know. Oh, no break next week? Let's go. Let's go. My guy Dan DiCarlo says, "Yo, Cross Guild episode is almost soon. Are you gonna do a live stream?" I'm gonna live stream any Cross Guild episodes. Oh yeah, I didn't read the SBS yet, so we gotta. I gotta take a look at that during this. Shout out to Great Peace. Shout out to David Cott, who said the memory bubble in Vegapunk's lab didn't return to its original owner because he or she was dead? Question mark. What if that bubble mixed Kuma and Ginny's memories? Yeah, that's interesting logic, right? Because we're told that it eventually makes its way back to its owners, right? But or is that the point, right? It makes its way back to its owners, and who went and found the bubble? Bonnie, right? So is she technically the owner? Spartan Gibbles said Kuma might have adopted Ginny's kid after she dies. Potentially, but I mean, we don't know who the dad is then. I don't know. At this point, the cleanest thing, and I mean, none of it is really clean because it's all pretty complicated. Well, AJ said not buying the Ginny as Luffy's mom because that would make Ivankov the uncle or aunt of Luffy, and I think that would have come up and Impel Down. I don't think they're literally brothers. I think that was just like, hey, we were slaves together. You're big bro. That's just anime Anarchy stuff. I don't think they're actually related. But the cleanest thing for me, and it's still extremely complicated, is that it's so complicated. It's so complicated. I don't know if this is clean, but it makes sense to me. Ginny is Luffy's mom now. I wasn't on board for it at first. But I'm into it now. But it's also the Kool-Aid. Like, Oda wants you to think that, so it's not going to be that also. But I mean, let's just talk about clean, right? So anyway, she couldn't have kids with Kuma. Kuma didn't want to have kids, plus he's a priest. So Ginny clearly wanted to get married, loves Kuma, or whatever, but gets caught up in the Revolutionary Army. So she transfers that onto Dragon. We get the B side of this later on when we get like a Dragon flashback. We learn more about this, but if Oda wants to tell us this. But anyway, she gets with Dragon. She has Luffy 5 years ago, and drops him off somewhere because it's too dangerous to have a kid amongst all of this or whatever, or gives in a Garp, and then Garp figures it out. Ginny dies in the next chapter. Kuma's there. He takes her memories. Vegapunk has to be in the next chapter in one shape or form, and he's already made the Stussy clone, So that's already a thing. Judge is working on his clones by this point, I imagine, as well. They're just not perfected. So Kuma takes the memories from Ginny and begs Kuma to make a clone. Begs Vegapunk to make a clone. Vegapunk makes a clone of Ginny. That clone is Bonnie. Kuma raises her as his daughter. Man, that's complicated. That's not clean at all. But it's One Piece. There needs to be a clone of Bonnie now. Like, I'm glad I bought clone Bonnie stocks super early, because there's no way Bonnie was born. Oda gave us no indication that she was born 22 years ago like her Viva card said she was. And certainly not to Kuma. But they did shack up with... Hold on. But they did shack up with the freedom fighters in the Revolution Army. Like, Dragon shows... What if Bonnie is actually Dragon's kid? But they had it afterwards. And then Dragon had a kid with somebody else, and that's Luffy's mom. Is Dragon built like that? Monkey D. Bonnie? But then why would Kuma raise her? It's complicated. It's too complicated. EJ Dezu said, I'm overthinking this. I need answers! I need answers! Plague in all caps said Ginny is Bonnie. Maybe. I don't think that Oda's going to go that dark great piece. Jin said, yes, please. Need One Piece episode reactions back from Randy. DJ said, but Oda said that Luffy's mom was never important in the story. That's what Oda makes us think. Like, yeah. Well, Oda's reasoning for a mom not being in the story is because he thinks that moms are no fun. So they would be like, don't go on this journey and all this other stuff. But I mean, like, he's, you know, Ginny's like a cool mom. Like, hey, I'm taking down the world government, Zigzag said, great, now all Viva cards are unreliable. Basically. Does this, I didn't expect us to talk about Pipe Jenny this long. Apologies, but I mean, that's one of the big questions here, right? Shout out to my guy Kev DOG, Kev Dog. Ginny's probably getting killed next chapter, absolutely. But I see an all-black silhouette. Hear me out. 16-year-old Lucci captured Ginny. Where was Lucci's flashback?
Savage.
Where did that take place? Hold on. Chapter 422. Doberman gave us the information on Rob Lucci. It's been years now. There was a kingdom, once a kingdom where 500 soldiers were captured by pirates. The captain of the pirates demanded the throne in exchange for the lives of hostages. Then a boy, sent by the world government, sneaked into the pirates' hideout and obliterated all hostages, all 500 soldiers of the kingdom. He stood up from the raging fire, decapitated the captain of the pirates, settled the incident. At the age of 13. Now that flashback is 13. Okay. We're saying it would be 16. So we've already done the math. 14 years ago, Lucci was 16. So Lucci's 30 now. I mean, that's an interesting, like, the thing I like about that, Kev, is that it's tying the characters that we have in Egghead. So I really buy the line of thinking there. Who knows? Who knows? You know, like, let's make the stakes more personal. I mean, that's, you know, it's the exact reason why I was like, have Lucci be the one that killed Cobra, because then it ties Vivi even more into everything that happened in Ennie's lobby on Water 7. That is interesting. I don't know if that's what we got. It was brought up earlier, what if Smoker could be involved? Because he would be 21 or 22, apparently. And would be operating out of the East Blue. But I'm also not. I'm also not entirely ruling it out that she didn't get captured by like a pirate or something. So, but you know, if we want to tie Garp into everything, Garp has stake there as well, especially if Ginny is tied in any way to Luffy. These are the days of our lives. Yeah. Well, Kuma had a little bit of a general hospital at the beginning of the chapter. Ginny definitely had some passions for him. I really like that Dragon had Baltigo for so long and they never found Baltigo. My chat is lagging hard. Let's see. Saeed said, when Oda revealed the supernova's ages in an SBS pre-time skip, he specifically singled out that Bonnie's age is 22 based on looks. She would be 24 currently, based on looks. Oh. So then Bonnie would have been born in between, hey, let's get married, I'll make you happy, and the disaster striking the Royal City. I'm so confused, guys. I'm so confused. I'm trying to make sense of all of it. But I'm glad to be trying to make sense of all of it with all of you. Oh man. Sparring Gibble said, "Give me the dragon and a Kainu chore boy flashback. Oda, do it, you coward." Yeah, I want it. I want it. Oh, you know who's got to be there? It's got to be a Kainu. A Kainu's got to be the person. Sorry, everybody. There's too much like personal stake going on between that scene between Kuma and a Kainu. So a Kainu's got to be the one that captured Ginny. And it would parallel having Bonnie like in front of a Kainu as well. So I'm sorry, I don't buy anybody else. And I'll take the L if I'm wrong, but I'm putting all of my chips at a Kainu is involved in the next chapter. DM Fuerte said, it's better for the story for Luffy to adventure with a clone of his mom rather than his actual mom. Maybe Ginny's memories and soul are different. Vegapunk gave Bonnie Ginny's soul and made a different body. The body would age faster, like judges and the Seraphims, but mentally she would be 8. We've talked about that. Like, that's why everybody's like, oh, she's a little girl because she's a clone, so she aged differently. I don't know. It's Arthur said, Bonnie is Ginny's soul, not memories. Body desynced. Yeah. Kainu slayed Luffy's mom and brother. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I know it's pronounced Akai Inu, as in red and dog. Aka is red and Inu is dog, but I don't know. Sometimes you get lost in your own pronunciations of things, whether they're right or wrong. You know, it's like everybody in the community says Sabati or, you know, whatever, but it's really, I remember, you know, most of the time back in the day we were saying Shabandi, you know, and it's like, and I'll be perfectly honest, like, there were a lot of things, even being a fan for as long as I am, that I didn't actually know how to pronounce until I started doing YouTube and got corrected, and it was just like, wow, I've been saying this wrong for 20 years. Brandon said, I love the extra connective tissue between Kuma and Dofi. Kuma was a pastor who performed miracles and took pain. Dofi was a god who fell to earth and almost was crucified. And they were both introduced at the same time, walking into that meeting. Remember Raftel? Yeah, of course. We had Raftel until we had Laugh-Tail. Like that nobody was saying anything other than Raftel until 967. '98 in the periodic table is Einsteinium, chapter 98, Vegapunk flashback most likely confirmed. Well, I did say we need Vegapunk definitely in the next chapter. So I want Vegapunk and Akainu. Sakazuki. I'm just gonna say Sakazuki. And I'm gonna put that stank on it too. And Smoker. I mean, like, if we get Smoker, like, it fits. It's 1,000 chapters from Zolo-boys, right? I need to confirm that. I'm pretty sure. That would be so crazy. So crazy. Yep, Smoker Oda Box, chapter 98. Let's go, baby. For Sea Smoker in 97. But you get that Oda Box in 98. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I want it. Let's see. Shout out to my guy AJ. He said, fan base, we need good living mom characters. Oda. Best I can do is Big Mom. And Crocodile. Fan base scowl. Croc can't be Luffy's mom. Oda. Just wait. Oh, man. That's crazy. Kev said, so you were at a con yesterday. How was it? It was awesome. I'd never been to it. It was Anime Pasadena. And it was cool. It was low key. You know, like you could actually walk around. The merch was great. They actually had a bunch of One Piece stuff too, which was surprising. They even had like a little booth that had specifically stuff from like the One Piece store in Japan. I would say there was more One Piece stuff there than even at Anime Expo. Anime Expo was a little light on the One Piece merchandise for my liking. And like I have an unboxing video that's gonna, you know, come out as a short where this Devil Fruit. It had a bunch of the TCG in there. I've been trying to get these Kingdoms of Intrigue cards because they have all these like holographic VVs in there and a bunch of Alabasta stuff. I have this, which I didn't open, which, hey, why not? Let's do it on cam. But probably my favorite buy at the con, which is something I've never seen before, so I had to get it. Buggy hat. I gotta get a nose though. But hey, you know, we got something for if it's a cross guild episode or chapter. That's going on. We're ready. We're ready. And I've got my little like hook for when Crocodile's there too, so I'll just be looking like a full clown reading anything with Cross Guild, because we'll have I'll have the buggy hat on and I'll have the one claw. All right, so I got this thing here. Got some goats on the box. Got some goats on the box. Special Dawn card. What is this? Chapter 2000 hype? Any predictions for Mathpiece? Am I gonna be like 50 years old? Oda's gonna be like in the 70s or something? That's a heater. That's heat. That's heat. Any Mathpiece connection to Nothing Happened in this chapter? I'll take a look. I think Nothing Happened already happened, technically. I think. The Mathpiece connection to this chapter would be and we'll double check. We'll do a check. But I think this is post Stenny's lobby where Garp like comes and like says everything about Dragon and tells him that Dragon's his dad and all that. Like that should be this area, if I remember correctly. Yeah. A goat. Yeah, whatever. Goat. Goaty. Goatish. There's a couple goats in there. Goated for the first half of his name. Hey, young goat. The queen was alright. This guy is trash. They got anime-only characters in here. Hey, big goat. That's goat. Shout out to Kyros. Why they got a holographic Kinemon like this? Why? Why? Why they got that? Why they got that? Yeah, I gotta check out the SBS also. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's some goats. Got some goats right there. Okay. Okay. Negative. Yeah, the 0 there is appropriate. Alright. Alabasta Chopper. That's goated, alright. I'm there. Hey. Those are some goats. Some goats. Nah. I don't care about that. Goat. 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 Yes. Oh. Okay. I really like Gats. I like him. I'm a little disappointed though, because like I bought like, I don't know, 5 or 6 packs of the Kingdoms of Intrigue. I think this is like my 4th or 5th Mr. 5. This exact card. Shout out to Rafael Santana, I appreciate you. That's kind of cool. I don't have that. The best thing in there was the Corazon. That's the heater. That's the big heat right there. All right. Sorry to derail the thing with the card game. Ugh. Filler deck. Brandon King said, Bonnie said Kuma's bubble was his pain and memories. That's why he's emotionless. What if Ginny is gravely injured, so he had to remove the pain and memories of him too? She forgot him? Damn! She got hurt that bad that the only way to... he had to remove everything. That's wild. But you might be onto something. You might be cooking. You might be cooking. Dash said, Corazon, maybe new dragon. Connect the card game to this chapter. Well, technically, Corazon would be a marine. We could see that'd be crazy if we saw Corazon. Like Oda decided, hey, let me bring this guy back. And removing everything to remove her love for Kuma. She might place that on a dragon. Yeah, but Luffy's already been born. EJ said, any predictions for 1100? I think we're out of this flashback either by the end of the next chapter or the middle of 1099, and then 1100 is geographically it doesn't necessarily make sense, but I want it to be Dragon getting to Egghead with Sabo and Ivankov. Kuma will have already arrived, and it'll be like Kuma dying or, sacrificing himself for everybody else, as he's fighting Saturn. Shout out to Rafael Santana. He said, I forgot to write, LOL. Do you think Kuma was testing Zoro because he knew that Luffy was Nika? No. I don't think that Kuma knew that Luffy was Nika. I don't think that Kuma knows the correlation between the Gomu Gomu no Mi and the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. I think that it was all based in, oh, your dragon's son. Okay, copy that. Is it true that he has a brother? Because I know Dragon. I never knew this. So is Portka's DA supposed to be his brother too? Dragon's kind of shady. I don't know. Maybe he really was out here. All right, this is what I need to find out. But hey, anyway, either way, you're the son of my buddy. So I'm gonna try to not kill you guys and maybe help you in some way. If he knows more than he lets on, then Oda's got the real estate to do that. But I think it's really interesting, especially if he had done a bunch of research, or the Revolutionary Army had done research on all of the Straw Hats, so he knew exactly where to send everybody, because it was just like, okay, you need this, you need this, you need this. Okay, I'm gonna send you here. Get stronger. But if he did know that he was Nika, and then it was like, I think it would be less about, was he testing Zoro, and was he testing Luffy and the whole crew by proxy? I've already I've already played my role in this story. Now it's your turn. $1,100 has to be the return of Kuma to the main story. Yeah, but it's also 1,000 chapters from Dragon's introduction, so I need it to be Dragon related as well. Oh yeah, you got it, Raphael. I appreciate you. Let's see. Do a little math piece here. Chapter 4. 2. What's that? Because I just looked at it. Chapter 435. To find that Garp chapter. Okay. 432. .432 is when we learn the dragon is his dad. So let's see, One Piece chapter 32, issue 48 of 2006, 1097, issue 49. Yeah, so. This was supposed to be issue 48. But Oda took that unplanned break to come to Los Angeles, so all of the math piece is like one thing off now. But technically, it's like if we could, if we found out hypothetically, right, that Ginny was Luffy's mom, then we could say that Oda was trying to have the chapter where his mom and his dad met be, on the issue anniversary of when we even learned the dragon was his dad, like something like that. Like that's how math piece works.
Savage.
Then nothing happened is like, is that 487 or something? No, that's Brooks' flashback. Gotta pull back a little bit. 484. Yeah, 484 is everything with Kuma and the bubble. 485 is that. So let's see what that is. 484. 67. No. We wouldn't be math piecing Nothing Happened until January. That's not what it is. Shout out to Vasil Vladimировich, who said, we all expect an epic union between Dragon and Luffy. I fully expect a nonchalant, yo, what's up? While Luffy picks his nose. Jin said, Randy, I think Dragon didn't stay at the Marines for long, or else it doesn't explain why no one knows where Dragon is from. Well, we need more. We need like the Dragon Marine flashback as well, where he's like best friends with Sakazuki. But we also need to see what incident turned him away, you know? Because he said that his justice, he didn't find that his justice lined up with their justice, right? So how did he come to that conclusion? What was it? And it had to be something massive for him to like go and like, hey, I'm gonna start the Freedom Fighters. So what other major event in this world is out there? Let's see. Can someone send me a link to the SBS from 107? Because I want to look at some of that stuff. This is a really solid chapter. It's very like it's very much like a setup chapter for the flashback. Like everything, like the last one was a huge one, and then this one was like the setup for everything that's gonna happen in the next one. The next one's gonna be even crazier. Wow. But it was also just a lot of really great character stuff for Kuma. This man in rags helping all of these people, taking their pain. It's like, it's crazy too, because it's like you feel the love. Like I feel like Ginny like really loves this man. Doing a little bit of a reread here, guys. So upset by things in this. I'm so upset. Like I just want Kuma to be happy. I want Ginny to be happy, you know? I love how Ginny is just ready to take on the world. If we want to fight back, we have to take on the whole world government. Like that is a boss line. It's so good. The two silhouettes come in, Dragon and Ivankov.
久しぶりだな。
I want to know who some of these guys are, you know. So he still didn't have his tattoos yet, but we know that because he didn't do that until after O'Hara anyway. The narrator box is telling us like how they became the Revolutionary Army, but what I think we're seeing is the Freedom Fighters in particular. We still lack a solid source of funds. So who gave them money? Who's their sugar mama? Who's the sugar mama for the Revolutionary Army? How'd they get their money? they start hitting licks on the Celestial Dragon games. Is there another God Valley at some point? Did Bonnie get captured trying to stop the game on Gaimon's island? We were talking about that. How long ago was the Gaimon flashback? Hold on. A certain island. Is this what Gaimon's island looked like 14 years ago? Oh man. That's crazy. Vasile said, what if Dragon was at God Valley, saw the genocide, and Garp defending the Celestial Dragons, and was ashamed to be a Marine and his father's son? I mean, I've been saying that. That was my initial thing, but since we didn't see Dragon at God Valley, I've been kind of I kind of moved past it. But there's still an opportunity. Like, that is the level of... That's the level of everything that I want, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I would expect Dragon to say, like, if he's talking about I spent some time in the Navy, like, I was there at God Valley too. Like, that's the next line, and he doesn't say that. Okay. Too many goats for sure. Don't crush on me, you creeps. Grow up. Did we ever learn what, like where Baltigo is? Like, is it in the Grand Line? Is it in the New World? Is it in... I feel like it's like in one of the blues, right? South Blue or something. But I feel like it has to be... I don't know. I don't remember where it is. Alright, I'm looking at the SBS here. You guys have probably, like, you know, gone through this or whatever, but I haven't looked at it. That's funny about the live action. Ima's real appearance is Ima's true appearance someone with a very pointy mouth. I'll leave this message as seen. Where are the images? The Reddit doesn't have the images. I guess I have to go to Art Tourist Twitter or something. Let's see. One back here. The girl that was smitten with Vivi in 1074 is called Yaneno Chinode. She's 24 and a reporter in charge of the World Economic News Popular Fashion Corner, Street Corner Collection. She's a fiery gal, diligent reporter to a fault, and very popular. Okay. Oda confirms that Jiron of the Revolution Army is inspired by Jiron Amos from the very old anime combat mecha Zabungle. Never heard of that one. Kujaku's whip is called Beethoven. On its kanji reading Beethoven. Military combat whip. Okay. It is made of steel, so it can even split rocks in half. Interesting. Vaulted those in the Grand Line. Eyes are starting to hurt a little bit. Oda believes that the design of Buggy's powers may have been influenced by the character Bara Man from the old Japanese show Robot 8-chan. He saw when he was young. How Vegapunk cleaned his hair, he would lay in a pool. It's one of those stupid ones, okay. Pool is filled with a species called scrubfish that would help scrub his hair. Fans ask what jobs the admirals would like in real life. Oda answers all 5 would likely be radio personalities. Okay. Oda confirms he was inspired by the Japanese TV show Ganbare Robocon for Pythagoras' design. And the colors resemble that as well. Oda confirms that since Caribou couldn't hear very well from the inside of the barrel, he did not hear what lies at the end of Luffy's dream. Prince Gruss backstory. Hey, that's my guy. Alright. That's my new favorite Marine. As a kid, Gruss was the gloomy type who always used to walk while looking at the floor. Because of this, he always kept bumping into things, such as walls, cows, people. This is why he has a long-brimmed cap, so he knows when he's going to hit a wall. Alright, such as walls, cows, peoples, and pirates. The latter, which ended up hurting him in turn. After that, his mom forced him to wear a long cap so that he wouldn't bump into things anymore. That's why he wears such a long cap today. That's Oda at his finest. Is he really a prince, though? Where's that part of the story? Oda clarifies that sword members are still part of the Marines and can be promoted. Their position simply means the Marines can use their resignations to cut them off anytime they want to avoid taking responsibility. So Kobe can still become an admiral. Kobe and Hibari backstory. The bear on Hibari's backpack is a lucky charm that has been very important to her since she was a kid. One day, on the battlefield, Kobe saved Hibari's life. She lost her bear in the process. However, several days later, Kobe returned with several injuries, with his superior furious about his disappearance, but in his hand was the bear. Damn, Kobe? Okay. Getting Amiyadaki vibes here. Kobe had returned to the war zone to search for Hibari's treasure. Hibari thanked him as she teared up and secretly named the bear Kobe Senpai. I am pretty dense when it comes to love, so I'll let you have a guess on if she's smitten with him or not. And someone say I'd pay top dollar to see this in an OVA episode. Oda confirms it was indeed Beckman who took off Kid's arm. Okay. Kid got his arm shot off, confirmed. Bonnie has eaten the Toshi Toshi no Mi Age fruit, making her an age-altering human. Okay, confirmation there. I think that's everything? Okay. My favorite thing was the Kobe and Hibari thing. Second favorite would be the Gruss stuff, but I wish I got more. Why Luffy calls Bonnie by her name? When Luffy met Bonnie, he called her Boggy, but quickly changed to Bonnie. Indeed, it was changed in the image on the right, but before that, when Luffy heard that Bonnie's father had been turned into a cyborg, he was excited and said, "That's cool." He regretted that he called her Boggy and was immediately corrected, which made him feel so awkward, even for Luffy, so he'll never make that mistake again. More explanation. Was the explanation about sword a bit complicated? In chapter 1080, Aokichi said formal submission of documents. They can be disavowed at any time. This means that they entrusted their resignation, but they are not fired. Others disavowed yet. In the case of a Marine soldier getting caught and becoming hostage, the Marines will acknowledge their resignation there and say, that guy's not a Marine soldier, and forsake them. The ones who are fine with this, so they can fight as they please, are the Marine soldiers called sword. And there's an Usopp as Sun God Nika. Okay. That's a fun SPS. That's fun. Shout out to everybody that's still in here. Let's get those likes up. Get to subscribe. What if Kobe parallels Dragon? I mean, we need the context on Dragon first. Gress with the functional drip. Nope. Jen said, by the way, Randy, you were right. Ginny with her talents did make her revolutionary East Blue captain from the last chapter. Yeah, I said she had to be high ranking. I wanted a little more in terms of like her being the reason why they're so good with communications, though. Like, I wish that was set in there. But hey, you know, she still nice with it. Saeed said, Randy, did you know that in chapter 1054, an epithet for dragon was revealed, but both the scans and official translations omitted it for some reason? The epithet is rebellious dragon, or traitorous dragon. Might have been foreshadowing that he was in the Navy. When the anime adapted the chapter, they translated it as insurgent serpent. Interesting. Most people thought the anime added that because of this. That's fun information. I've always been on board of the Dragon was a Marine thing because it was like somebody had to have listened to Garp, but then, you know, defected. So I've always liked Dragon was part of the Marines. EJ Days who said, Kuma, I love you, baby, but I love God and Castro more. Love that. I need Kuma to see Luffy as Niku in his last moments of consciousness also. Cress's hat fits the bill. Stop. Stop. John Doe said, I wonder what the chances are of Bonnie being Ginny's biological daughter but not Kuma's. Very high. Like, higher, like, higher in the sense that I don't think Kuma has ever been touched. Other than by God at this point. Alright. So he does not have any biological children. That man, he lives and dies by the book. Okay. So if Bonnie is not a clone, Kuma is not the father. But he is the daddy, alright? He's the one that stepped in. Shout out the Great Peace. Angyaku Ryu. I like Rebellious Dragon. I like that. I like the idea of there being some sort of a raid, and then you know, Dragon's just like, no, I'm done. And then he like sides with the people and like goes against like his dad or something, like, or Akainu, right? I mean that's. It feels like Akainu took that personally, so he's got to be involved. He's got to be involved. Like, so if he was there, and then it's Dragon versus Sakazuki. Miles said Randy will hold this L in T-1 chapter. What do you mean? What L? You think Bonnie is Kuma's biological daughter? There's two ways to read this. There's two ways to read this. It's just, you go back to the, what was it, the 22 years ago section? No, 25 years ago. She's like, I'll make you happy, marry me. Like, why don't you know you love me? And then he's like, no, like, I can't, you know, like, my blood is poison, basically. Like, I saw what happened to my parents. I am just going to keep reading this book, and I don't need any of that. So now, either off screen, she convinced him, and then they had Bonnie, or she went and was like, okay, well, I need a man who will actually love me and attend to the needs that I have, and then she had Bonnie somewhere else. Or she is Bonnie. Or she's the clone of Bonnie. Or Bonnie's the clone of her. Or she's Luffy's mom. Or there's two ways to read that scene, but there's like 10 ways to interpret it. Miles said, indeed I do. Look, I would love that. I really would love it, because we need biological fathers in this story that are good. Because right now, Kyros is holding up for all of them on his one leg. He's standing up for all of them on his one leg. So, you know, he needs to get backed up. And if Kuma can be that backup, I'm on board. But I'm reading this scene as Oda is trying to show that Kuma is celibate and pure. This man's holding it down for all the good fathers in One Piece. Spartan said Clap is the greatest dad so far. Clap's great, but Clap's a flashback character. I'm talking about in the present. I'm talking about in the present. Alejandro said, damn, Dragon really took his friend's girl right under his nose. Well, I mean, he wasn't doing anything. So I just hope they had a conversation beforehand. Like, hey, man, is this okay? I would have been like, I don't know. Cobra also holding it down. Sorry. Cobra and Kyros. Cobra, Kyros, Kuma. Maybe. Do I think we'll get a Dragon or Roger quote in 1100 to mirror chapter 100? I would love that. Alejandro's spitting. Well, Cobra is dead, so he's in the flashback levels now. Yeah, so Kiros is still holding it down on his one leg. Miles said, I think we see a young Bonnie on Sorbet with Kuma, and then grown-up rock-throwing kids. Then word of Ginny getting kidnapped. That's a good take. Now I see where you're coming from. Oh, wait. Alright, Miles, you changed my mind. Because I went back to this scene, and I'm like, oh, Kumachi's back? And then he says, I'll return now and then. I want to make sure you're all right. Why else would he go to Sorbet if Bonnie's not there? Yeah. There's a shot that Bonnie is there. Okay. All right. That changes things. All right. Neptune's alive. Capone, he's holding it down. Yep, okay. Toto's holding it down. Pagaya, Pagaya's dead in my mind. Let's see. Oda withholds so much information. He withholds so much information. I'm so burnt by it, because it's like, so he goes back to Sorbet because Bonnie is there and is like Gyo raising her or something. Tomorrow's a big day. We're going to meet up with Komachi's group, remember? So is she excited because she's going to go see her daughter? Then just say that. See, that's what bothers me about it, because it's like, if Bonnie is Ginny's daughter, she should be talking about Bonnie here, not just Kumachi. Like, am I making sense? Like, do people understand like why I'm confused about it and why I'm like, It's like, Oda, just make it a little more clear. We need 1098 now. Do I like the idea of Commodore Dragon as a play of words to the Komodo dragon? That's kind of funny. We see Dragon in the Marines, and he's a Commodore, like, brand new. Oda really does put us on the hook here. If they had Bonnie, they would have to hide her existence so the world government doesn't come after them like the Navy did with Kuma's family, yeah. Maybe that's what we see. Maybe that's what happens. I think that that's what happens. They come for Bonnie and Kuma because they know he's a buccaneer, so they pull up to Sorbet again. But he goes out and there's a whole battle, and this is how he gets the name Tyrant, because he dukes it out with Marines and different things at Sorbet, and he's not there for Ginny's capture, or Ginny's death, maybe, because he's busy protecting Bonnie, maybe? I feel like the setup with Clap and everything with the first scene in Sorbet, like that does need to come back around. So that's a good take, Spartan. I do stuff 2010 said Randy's tripping hard with this Ginny as Luffy's mom thing. Oda, I'm saying that Oda is setting that up because he wants people to talk about that. I'm not necessarily saying that that's what I want. I'm not saying that's what I exactly think. I'm saying that he is dropping clues and different things, and he's putting red herrings, and he's showing his hand, and he wants you to believe that it's a possibility. That's why he's having her eating the meat all the time, and like having these scenes with Dragon, and it's just like he's not explicitly saying that Bonnie's in the chapter or that Bonnie is their daughter, because he wants you to sit there and think, wait, could it be Luffy's mom? Like, that's what he wants on the hook. Now, is it going to be the case? Could he do it? Yes. Will he? Probably not. More than likely not. But I wouldn't be opposed to it being the case, because I like Ginny as a character so far. And I would get it. I'd get it. I'd be like, okay, whatever. That's fine. But I'm not 100% on board. I'm not 100% on board with a lot of this. I love this flashback. Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% on board for the flashback. I'm just not 100% on board with the way Oda is withholding everything, because I want everything right now. But hey, at least it's not a break. So we're going to get 1098. We'll get some answers next week. We've got to see Bonnie. Maybe that's what this scene is that Miles had me go back to. But Ginny's definitely dying. That I've never wavered from. Whether she's someone's mom, whether she's a clone, whatever, I don't care about. But she's definitely the death of all of this, like the emotional piece. Spartan said, I just don't think Dragon could have gotten that high up before seeing the corruption and leaving. Yeah, Commodore is a pretty high rank that Brand New has. I would expect that it's funny for the pun, but I too also expect that Dragon would have like gotten out as like a petty officer or something. I don't even think he would have, reached captain. Maybe as a rookie, like the chore boy, he gets out of there too. They had the ranking. I just saw it too because it was in the Garp chapter. What did I say that was? 432. Yeah, 432 starts with the ranking of everything. So, apprentice, then you got seaman, recruit, Master Chief Petty Officer, Chief Warrant Officer, Lieutenant. You got Captain, Commander, Lieutenant Commander, Vice Admiral, Rear Admiral, Commodore. Yeah, see, like, Commodore is on the same level as a Vice Admiral, Rear Admiral, Commodore. So it's like, for a dragon to have become a Commodore, that would basically be like he achieved like what his dad reached super quickly, even if Garp never, chose to go beyond that. Petty officer sounds hilarious, yeah. Smoker knew Dragon in Chapter 100. They met as Marines. Maybe, but also he's the most wanted man in the world. So let's see if there's any dialogue in Chapter 100 that makes us think that they could know each other. Let's see. Your ... Government's after your head, That could be read as like, hey, I know you, man. Like, what are you doing here? They're after you, right? We're after you. The world awaits our answer. Was Smoker there when Dragon defected? Would that even line up time-wise? I don't think so. No. No. Dragon and Smoker were not Marines together. You know why? Because Dragon was already wearing his cloak at Roger's execution, and Smoker was not a Marine yet. So, sorry, I gotta nip that. He may know that he was a Marine at some point, but they were not Marines together. Timeline does not make sense. I want Oda to retcon the Akainu joining at 23, because I want them to be Marines at the same time. Yeah, we talked about Corazon a little earlier, Dash. That would be pretty cool. What was Bonnie's introduction box during the reverie when she entered as an old woman? The Queen Dowager Connie, which that still needs to be expanded upon, Like, what was that? What does that even mean? Shout out to Jesus Jimenez for subscribing.
Come with me if you want to live.
Why would Saturn play along and call her Kuma's daughter? Because it's probably part of the agreement that he made when he decided to become a cyborg and a weapon for the government. It was probably a situation where it was like, okay, but hey, you can't kill my daughter, or whatever you want to consider. And then that would explain why it would tie into some of Sakazuki's dialogue with Bonnie as well. Like, whatever whatever the reasoning is that Ivankov is so upset about, like, oh man, you know, like, why would he do this? Like, it has to be about Bonnie, and then in turn seated in everything with Ginny. So, man, yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna start winding the stream down here, guys. I don't think I need to process a lot of this and then really decide like what side of the line I'm on for the analysis. Or maybe I just talk about all the possibilities and I don't choose the line. So Oda's delivering for sure. He's delivering. Chin said Tuesday 1084 episode reaction, or next week cross guild. What happened in 1084 that you want me to react to? Brandon pinged me an image in general. Let's see. Someone put an image of me with the buggy hat in there. Where did you ping me, Brandon? I'm in general. I don't see it. Is my Discord bugging or something? Like, Discord says I have a ping, but then it's not showing me anything. Oh, there it is, yeah. Dragon in the Marines. Yeah, that's been speculated for a long time. So... you know, it only helps all of it. You know, it's fun looking at this, that you see characters like Dalmatian having their devil fruit that young. Which, speaking of which, I did just get a Dalmatian to put in with the Marineford setup back there. But you got Dalmatian here, you've got Bastille, you have Yamakaji, I think that's Komiel, Doberman, Onigumo. I don't know who this one is with the pointy hat under Dragon. And I can't tell who the person above Dragon is. But I can definitely tell everybody else. Yeah, the one with the scowl and the face tat, that's Doberman. That's not Dragon. One circled in the Discord is. How many issues do I think we have this year? I think Oda can get to 1100 before the end of the year. See what the release schedule looks like. It originally it was going to be 1103 was going to be the last chapter of the year, which is the one I've been saying is Vivi's return. But Oda took another break, that, you know, kind of messed up his plans and messed up Math Piece a little bit, but we could get up to 1102 or 1101 this year. So we've got 1098 next week, which will be issue 50. We'll take a break, and then theoretically we'll be back for 1099 and 1100 back to back. Last week of November, first week of December. Then right now there's a scheduled break. We'll see if that still lands, and that'll be the second week of December. And then according to the online schedule, we would get last 2 weeks of December, 1101 and 1102. But normally there's a break there, so I'm not entirely sold we'll get 1102. 1102 might be the first chapter of the new year. Would Dragon have been in the Marines at the same time as Belmir? No. Because Nami was born after the Great Pirate Era, right? Or... well, no, it doesn't... Could they have been Marines at the same time? No, because I think, first of all, you have to think about Robin's age. Robin's older than Nami. Dragon was already out of the Marines by the time O'Hara was happening. And he was at Roger's execution in a cloak. So, and I think Belmir died in her mid-30s. I can't remember. Either way, I doubt it. All I'll say is I'll doubt it. 28 when we met Robin. She's 30 now. '84 was Wi-Fi hockey. Well, I do have to see how they animated that. We know from this chapter that he already formed the Freedom Fighters at their earliest 25 years ago. Yeah. Which is before Roger's execution. By 3 years. Oh, there's too much math, guys. There's too much math. Alright. I'm gonna... Dragon's Tattoo is the key, though. Well, let's see. He does have it at the end. Yeah. So... in between the 25 years ago section, and then in that 8-year period between the 25 years ago section and the 14-year ago section, wait a second. That's not math. Okay. All right. Okay. So, guys, we're missing something. There is a time jump in between that scene where he says 8 more years have passed, and then 14 years ago. There's another 3 years in between those two panels. So we go from 25 years ago to 17 years ago to 14 years ago. Because 8 more years after 25 would have been 17 years ago, and then the next scene is 14 years ago. Did people miss that, or have people already talked about that, and I'm late? Those 3 years are Kuma breaking his vows, yeah. No, there was 22 years ago? Let me see. Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. I forgot about 22 years ago. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Because we were talking about 22 years ago being... like, we should already see Bonnie at that point. So technically speaking, if Bonnie is supposed to be 24 in the current timeline, and we had 25 years ago, and then Ginny is saying, I'll make you happy, marry me, or whatever, give or take 9 months, you could have a 24-year-old. So 22 years ago, they should have like a 2-year-old Bonnie somewhere in the south of Sorbet. But she's being a very negligent mother. By also getting locked up here. Get to things here. 14 years ago, he's returning to see Bonnie. All right. I too want to know who funds the Revolutionary Army, Chin. He was complaining about money. How did they get their money? Should have seen Jay's reaction to Ginny and Kuma this chapter, Randy. It was wild. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah. Okay. So, all that to say, we just had, 2 hours and 20 minutes of me basically coming to the conclusion that I had last week. Like, going through a whole bunch of ideas and ultimately ending at Ginny is Bonnie's mom. Because now the timeline does make sense. But Oda is just doing everything not to show us Bonnie for some reason. And I still want it to be a case where Bonnie dies. And he makes a clone of Bonnie, not Ginny. That's what I really want. So at this point, I want 1098 to be Kuma and Bonnie. The government shows up to kill Kuma and Bonnie because of their Buccaneer lineage. And then I'd like to see Ginny get captured because she gave birth to a Buccaneer child. So all of this goes back to my initial thinking. I'm gonna still stick with my original instincts, and I'm gonna try and not fall into these like traps that Oda's laying here. So that's what I've thought the whole time. That's what I want it to be. Jim, we missed you at the birthday stream. Yeah, there were a lot of cooks in that one. Yep. Let's see. Top Goon said, "What if Bonnie was born in captivity? Kuma surrenders. They have Bonnie. Says Nika will free them. And in the present time, she's 14. Egghead intro." Well, we have to see Bonnie at Egghead too. So, at some point they have to try and capture him for his Buccaneer blood, but then Kuma has to like strike a deal. Like he's got to be like so powerful or something where he agrees to, you know, join them in some sort of capacity. But the other thing too is that 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, there was an open spot in the Warlords. There was an open spot in the Warlords because they were trying to recruit Ace, and you can't have 8 Warlords, there's only 7. So who's the new one? Crocodile's been one since he was a kid. Like a rookie. So it wasn't him. I think it was Kuma, but you know, but the time here would make it seem like he joined somewhere around this time 14 years ago. They said that he's always been the most loyal, so maybe he has been around a little bit longer. Luffy's mom, the forever red herring, yep. Bonnie is definitely the reason why he would agree to be a warlord. Like that I've never wavered on. I've always said that it had to be tied into that. Like this whole arc. So it's like, okay, that's why he became a cyborg, whatever, because he needed to protect Bonnie. Moria, I don't know. I get the impression that Moria's been one for a while because he's so lazy. And it's like they had to have recruited him while he was like still strong, and then like, you know, still notable. Jinbei, I don't know. How long has Jinbei been one? Didn't we get an answer to that in the flashback? I don't know. Mihawk, I get the impression he's been there a while. Dofi, I guess. But I feel like he would have had to have been one for the entire time that he was king of Dressrosa. But I don't know. Saeed said, by the way, you said you wanted Ivankov to meet Crocodile in God Valley, but in Impel Down, Ivankov said he met Crocodile when he was a rookie in his 20s. Yeah, but I mean, Oda's retconned stuff before. I wanted an 8-year-old Crocodile at God Valley. I feel like it would have informed a lot of stuff. I wanted to see that secret in action. was more about, you know, like, hey, these characters are old enough to be there. Will they? And here's the logic behind, like, why and the character relationships that would make it interesting. Oh yeah, Ginge said, yo, Randy, I'm an hour behind on the stream, but the card unboxing was hype. Would definitely watch a stream where you play the game. I've never actually played it. I've just been collecting the cards, and I have, like, I don't know, what feels like an absurd amount of them now. I really want to get the, like, the holographic VVs that are in the new set, and the crocodiles, but I did. I did get the VV Dawn holographic though. I got like the base VV leader card, which that was hype. Like I got that yesterday too. And then this other thing I bought had this sleeve. Chaka, Chaka can do it, you know. I wonder if there's other ones. Oh, they're all just Chaka sleeves. Hey, got these Chaka sleeves. Chaka can do it. I don't know this guy though. He looks like that guy that died. That's how I feel too. Mr. Very Smart. Jinbei must have been some deal that happened after Fisher Tiger stuff. I think it's a thing that Oda put in there, but then didn't really think about the consequences of who joined when he said that. So that's the tough part of that. And it may be something we never get an answer to, but that's something that I would actually like if I had an opportunity to like write an SBSN, I'd be like, okay, which warlord took the spot that Ace denied? AJ said, me, who's been playing Magic the Gathering on and off since the 90s. Randy, you don't have that many cards. Maybe you're right. What would my cover request be? I'd probably have to think about that. I don't know. Bellamy replaces his Doflamingo tattoo on his chest with a straw hat. For the straw hat logo. Alright guys. I gotta prep for this analysis. I don't know if this one's going to be like a 30-40 minute one like the past ones have been. I feel like there's a bunch of stuff to dive into, but weirdly enough, I feel like it's less stuff to dive into than the previous two chapters. Those ones were just so dense, and these ones are a little more character focused. Brilliant request. Have a great day, chat, Randy. Thanks, Win. Spartan Gibble said, easy cover request. Yasop paying his child support. To who? Savage. Ain't nobody to collect that. That Bellamy tattoo changing idea is really cringe. Why? He realized he was chasing after the wrong man, and he's gotta. It's built into One Piece. Nami had Arlong's mark, so it was like cringe when she turned that into, you know, the tattoo she has now, the windmill with the tangerine. That's cringe because it's the same vibe. I don't buy that, Wiper. I don't buy that. You think Yasop only has one kid? So. No, but Nami was different? It's the same vibe to me. It's the same vibe. It's the same vibe. Don't sleep on Bellamy. Bellamy's a great character. See, Kev jumping in. Also, Bellamy's goated. I'd love to see him grow. Exactly. That's fine. That's fine. Those are your thoughts. But, I mean, he's a part of the Grand Fleet. He's going to show back up at some point. Man's important. Yeah. Straw Hat logo. Right there. All right, guys. I gotta run. I gotta eat something. I gotta get this stuff ready. I do want to do if the next episode is Cross Guild, then we'll do a late Saturday night stream for that. Because I want to see that poster in action. I want to see it. I need to see it. That's what it is. It's the poster chapter, right? Not like the actual. Because we're gonna do the crocodile, you know, taking out all those Marines episode too. We're gonna do 1058, but this is 1056, right? 1056, right? So we're watching the episode this Saturday, and then Sunday we'll be right back for 1098. Gotta wear the buggy hat for that one. I'll wear the buggy hat when they drop the. They drop the poster. I gotta get a nose. I gotta get a nose now. I don't know how much of a clown I want to look though. Maybe I'll just wear the hat. I'll just wear the hat. I'm not gonna put the clown nose on. That's too much. This stream was an upside down M. Alright guys. I'll see you soon.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.